It's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Alaja, Nima, Akasha, Zabiri.
Still excited.
Looking nice and bright. I can see.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Was it at a hotel? I was there. I saw lots of. I said, I don't know what's going on here.
It was like our own, like what we call our own
convention.
What you guys do? What's the biggest
Congress
experience, Abi?
Okay,
experience. Yes.
Yeah,
I watched.
We don't have music. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. We have just we have
talks.
Talks, yeah.
Prayers. I watched it. Yeah.
It's a panel session, so I moderated.
Like I almost said Nima might be there because I saw lots of Muslims.
I
didn't see.
Her picture was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Her picture was everywhere. She was the star. She was the star of the.
I see. There's a deli there. I always go there whenever I just feel like having a nice breakfast. I always go there. So when I went there for breakfast, I'm wondering what is happening here. Nima should be here now.
Yeah, she
so
was
I'm
there.
so glad that you were there.
Yeah.
It was really huge for me, really huge.
Yeah.
I liked the perspective of my panel members, and we talked about Gaza, we talked about Islam generally around the world. But you know me, I go throw one local question, and I liked how the local question on local sheikhs was addressed and how Islam and culture has to be balanced. It was really eye-opening for me. I've not done my writing for post yet. I will see post them. Each lesson for
nice.
each question.
I'm so glad.
Amazing. I really enjoyed myself.
Well done.
Thank you to One Woman for the partnership. So we started this since October. It was a paid partnership for promotions as well as eventually to the platform.
Okay.
Yeah, well done.
Amaka Fresh, how you doing?
I'm good. I don't think I'm fresh anymore. The sun has this
Forever
sun.
fresh.
It don't knock my
Look at how
face.
fresh is the
But then, don't be deceived. So I want to share with you ladies what I did. Of the upper week, I did the vampire facials.
Okay.
Yes, and I was told that it takes away like 10 years from you, Mariah. Yeah. But then it's so painful and everything. But they say it's going to get worse before it gets better. So hopefully I'm going to carry you guys through the process. My friend opened a new spa at Osokoro. So they see some money.
In Abuja.
And in Abuja, yes, a new branch. And they tried it on me. And let's see how it goes. By next week, we'll see the results. And I'll carry you girls along.
You get
I asked this girl to take me to spa. She didn't answer me. I couldn't wait to spa myself. I went to one on Friday.
You now went?
Yes, I went. I went to It was nice. I mean, when
sorry,
they
I've
did
just
it,
been-
we didn't do facials.
I didn't do facial. They did massage. I had the Swedish massage. It was nice, but when I got home, the pain came back. I'm like,
No, you should have gone for deep. Always go for deep tissue. Always deep tissue. I'm so sorry, my darling, that I've just not been available.
Hi, little darling.
I'm doing well.
How's your
Something I
eyes?
said, I don't know what entered my eye just now. Yeah, so maybe during the break I'll check in. But I'm good. I'm reconnecting back to me. I'm reconnecting back to source.
To the universe.
Yes, sometimes when you teach people, okay, when this is happening to you, find a way to connect back. Get your inspiration from God, get your inspiration from the universe, blah, 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 blah. And things happened to me back. So I couldn't find my bearing. I didn't remember all the teaching, So it's taking me time now to sit back and then reconnect, back to my source, back to my authenticity, back to my higher self. So I'm doing a lot of meditations now. I'm doing a lot of reading. I'm just, getting grounded so that I can... so I can remember who I am. Because if you remember who you are, then you are able to overcome all of the challenges. That's space right now.
So I'm to have two things. First, my PA's birthday is today.
Yes,
Agnes. I did her new husband. I know it's Agnes Sunday that I know, but her husband's
Sundays.
Her new husband.
Her husband.
Her new husband.
Her new name.
Okay, let me help you. Mama Sam, Mama Joy,
Mama Samuel.
Agnes.
Yes.
Omo Sunday.
Her husband would not forgive me that I don't remember his surname. I'm just so used to Agnes Sunday that I forget that she's now married. Happy birthday, Agnes. May God continue to bless you. And then today also, one of my uncles, Mr. Femi Ogala. Today is the second year remembrance. His wife, Auntie Kofu, one of my aunties, really close auntie. She's preparing a two-year, just a bit of remembrance. They're hosting a few people in the house today, but his soul continued to rest in peace. He was really, family was really close to my mom, very close to my mom, like practically children to my mom. So I really need to acknowledge that. Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
That's not nice, actually. Welcome back. Okay, starts with the nation. Sorry, Nima. Why Aiyedatiwa secured total victory in governorship election? Nigeria, India to deepen trade military partnership. Tinubu in Brazil for G20 summit. APC clears all council chairmanship seats in Ogun. How to tackle rising food crisis by experts. NDDC to pump 1.9 trillion naira into 1,006 legacy projects. And JAMB begins accreditation of centers of 2025 UTME. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Yeah, of course, major headline. Congratulations to the governor-elect and governor substantive of Ondo State, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. He won landslides in the elections in Ondo State. Of course, the victory has brought about a lot of reactions. The PDP is, they have something to say. The former president Obasanjo has asked that INEC be scrapped or reviewed. A lot of reasons, but the nation took the angle from how or why he won. It says that he won, yes, all 18 local government council in the state, and the PDP has objections, but it says one of the factors is that the total victory in the Ondo State election is that the UPA, Unity of All Progressive Congress, the APC senior figures in the states includes former aspirants, and they believe that Aiyedatiwa is spending one term. Some people have that belief, and so they lined up behind him to give him the support he needed. Also, elected lawmakers such as Senator Olajide Ipinsagba, that represents Ondo North, and House of Reps member Donald Ojogo, and the Minister for Interior, of course, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, they all rallied support for him in Ondo State. And they have other reasons. They had external reasons. All the governors from the APC Southwest who were visiting, who gave him the support. Then there was disunity within the PDP. Some people defecting to the Zenith Labour Party, some people defecting back to the PDP. And so he didn't really have an opposition according to what the nation thinks. But congratulations to him. And I hope that this brings progress to the Ondo State. You should just look at what is happening in Ekiti State. They are praising Ekiti now, that things are really developing there, and make sure that he matches it since they are neighbors.
Yeah. So the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has started the accreditation of the centers of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examinations, that's the UTME. And in a statement by JAMB's public communication advisor, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, he said the board said the accreditation process was a critical first step in preparation for the annual examination. So the statement reads, and I quote, all new computer-based test centers that desire to participate in the 2025 UTME exercise are to first visit the website and avail themselves of the requirements of establishing a JAMB-approved CBT center. So following this, the center should notify the board in writing of their intention to participate in the accreditation exercise. Now, the notification should be addressed to the registrar of JAMB through the zonal director of state coordinator in their respective states. So established centers that were successfully accredited and participated in 2024 UTME without any issues should also proceed to register their interest through the Center Management Systems portal. So the zonal and state office will create accounts for new centers on the CMS portal to facilitate their registration. Then all centers must conduct an autobot and auto test, the dates for that will be communicated to them so that they get ready for the UTME that will be coming up in 2025.
All right, so our president is off to Brazil for the 19th G20 Leaders Summit that will be holding in Brazil. He was invited by the president of President Luiz da Silva in Brazil. The theme of this year's summit is building a just world and a sustainable planet. So obviously, the issue of climate change and sustainable planet is a major topic across the world. And yesterday, he will be attending today and tomorrow. The agenda includes discussions on combating global hunger and poverty, reforming international governance structures, and advancing sustainable development and energy across the world. I wonder, this summit, I hope they reach really very impactful because they just gather themselves. I mean, I'm happy they do it. I mean, we know some of the other summits I've had in the 80s and 90s were quite impactful, but I'm not sure these recent ones are as impactful as they are. We're not a member of the G20, but I don't know. They actually invite on the sidelines of the meetings. President will be also having meetings with various ministers and see how they can have bilateral and socioeconomic partnerships for Nigeria in general. So South Africa is the only African nation.
Okay, so I have the Niger Delta Development Commission has tied its 1.911 trillion 2024 budget to 1,006 legacy projects in the 9 states of the Niger Delta. The commission, they explained that the reason why the National Assembly had granted has approved their 2024 budget was tied to their performance so far in terms of creating, driving development within the region. And the NDDC's Director of Corporate Affairs, Mr. Thompson Wakama, stated that its current leadership approach to development and collaboration was yielding results, as exemplified in the completion of 5 projects within the state, and that this project cost them about 84 billion naira across 9 mandate states of NDDC. They also said that the 2024 appropriation was anchored on the theme budget of renewed hope, in line with the federal government's budget. I think that the proposal sought to move the NDDC from transaction to transformation. They also went ahead to name some of the projects that they are going to use the money for. They are going to use the money for, bridges, road constructions, and a whole lot. So hopefully this monies will be used towards what is actually meant for.
Yeah. Okay, the Punch, Aiyedatiwa's victory. INEC PDP disagree over alleged fraud in Ondo poll. 3,767 killed in 9-month road crash, it says FRSC. Abiodun Adebutu clash as APC clears Ogun LG seats. Mpox, that's monkeypox vaccination, begins in 7 states today. Top doctors strike threatens operation in 83 federal hospitals. Minimum wage, FG to spend 6.5 trillion, says MTEF. Dangote Ipman signed 240 million litres monthly petrol deal. Okay,
so I have a sad news of the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria threatening to go on strike. They started a 7-day warning strike starting today. They had initially gone on a warning strike earlier in October. They gave a 21-day ultimatum from October 21 to November 11, asking the government to meet all their demands. Some of their demands is that the harmonization of the retirement age of medical and dental consultants should be done to 70 years to mitigate the effects of doctors' migration. They're also asking that they're asking government to address the exclusion of medical and dental lecturers based on the criteria used in the appointment for the selection process for the office of the Vice Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Anambra. And they are also asking that the consolidation of medical salary structure to correct the shortfall in the emolument in the entry level and in their pension. And this means that from today's strike, 83 health facilities in the country and 64 medical schools across the country will be shut down. For matter, we're not really ads, because I look the thing they're asking is not really ads. Okay. I'm hoping that whoever is in charge of labor will do something immediately.
Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the Bulldozer!
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
my 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take. I can close the show. Give Fadala.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still on Punch.
Yes. So the federal government has indicated that it's going to be spending on personnel costs 60% increase in 2025. It said it's due to the implementation of the new national minimum wage and consequential adjustments of all cadres of the federal civil service. So checks by Punch correspondent showed that 4.1 trillion was budgeted as personnel expenditure in the 2025 budget. So there's going to be a 60% increase, which means additional 2.46 trillion and a total sum of 6.56 trillion. This was disclosed in the newly released the 2025 to 2027 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper obtained by the Punch correspondent on Sunday. And they said the documents approved by the Federal Executive Council last Thursday, and they are going to be facilitating the alignment of policy objectives with available financial resources. We know that in July, the president had approved an increase of the minimum wage to 70,000 naira from 30,000 naira. And they said federal workers have already started receiving the new wage. However, the implementation across the states has been gradual. Some states are still yet to adopt the new minimum wage. A number of states are even pledging to pay more than the 70,000 naira. And, some have, committed to pay higher. So they said about 20 states have announced the implementation of the new minimum wage. The Nigerian Labour Congress last week has also given a non-compliant state government an ultimatum of December 1, 2024 to implement the new wage. That's for those who have not said anything about it. So with all of this increase, I'm sure that's why they're also considering borrowing money to be able to shore up the 2025 budget.
The Mpox vaccination will commence today, the 18th of November, across 7 states, but mostly in the south. This was disclosed exclusively to the correspondent of Punch People by Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Muyi Aina. According to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, so far in 2024, there are 1,442 cases of Mpox from 36 states and the FCT, while the number of confirmed cases of infection is 118 from 28 states and the FCT. Mr. Aina said that the Mpox vaccination is scheduled to start today, but that they are targeting health workers in few facilities where the Mpox cases has been reported, that the health practitioners and staff, health workers, that they will be vaccinated, and also people, anybody that is around a confirmed patient will also be vaccinated in order not to allow for the spread. But that so far we're still contained, that the whole disease is still contained. So let's try to get the vaccination so that it doesn't spread further.
So our president had invited the Prime Minister of India to come over to Nigeria. That was Narendra Modi to Nigeria, an invitation of our president. The visit will happen on Sunday, and both presidents agreed to have high-level bilateral talks, culminating in a joint statement. They agreed to actually have a collaboration such that with the growing threats in the Gulf of Guinea, and the Indian Ocean. They also agreed to coordinated actions to safeguard maritime and trade routes, and also to combat piracy. The partnership includes how to boost economy, defense, health, and food security across the nation. Moving on quickly now to Daily Sun. Bleak Christmas, our cargo volume dips by 40%. Obasanjo calls for sack of INEC chairman and officials. Nigeria-India pledge rising economic and defense of the ties. Miss Universe, I have made history, says Chidima Adechina. First runner, National Assembly may miss December 2025 target for constitutional review. Okay, which story? What's the Miss Universe story?
I have it too. So yesterday, over the weekend, the 73rd Miss Universe pageant, our own Chidima, 22-year-old, became first runner-up.
Yeah, that's second place.
So she's now the Miss Universe for Africa, Miss Oceania, and this grand finale that was held in Mexico had Denmark
as the winner.
We just accepted it, but I consider it small.
Considering all that happened before,
yes,
it was a worthy victory for her.
This face-off between her and Miss Denmark was very strong, but she stood her ground. I think maybe voting might be what did not work, but she won, and she said she considers her crown a victory. She said she's made history. She was crowned as Miss Universe Africa, Miss Oceania, and as the highest-ranking African contestant of this year. She won about $100,000. Yes, gotten plenty. Wow. This our Nigerian.
When we were doing this those days, there was no money like this. We
I said, I'm so excited. I don't have the words to describe what I'm feeling right now. I'm so proud of myself. I have made history, and she has.
Yes,
she's a South African Nigerian.
Yes.
She won for us.
Yes.
Okay,
yes. So, be like say we no go do Christmas this year. Nigerians may face a subdued yearly tide season as cargo importation into the country has dropped by over 40%. Yes, driven by high clearance costs, soaring exchange rates, and the diversion of shipments to neighboring countries. The importers and clearing agents, they are lamenting seriously. They said that they've never seen this type of thing before, and the cargoes are being diverted to the ports of Tema in Ghana and Cotonou in Benin Republic, because they are now sharing the Nigerian-bound cargoes because they cannot clear goods. Nothing is coming in. People are not importing. That they don't know how. There's going to be a bleak Christmas, but we refuse to get it December. We are here.
Back to sender.
Reject it. But they are begging the federal government to please help them.
How?
To help people.
How?
Because the clearing costs is too much for everybody. Clearing costs is too much.
People are not importing now.
And then the dollar rates. Could see wahala, but please, we are here for dirty December.
Yes, it's got to be dirty.
Hey, Vanguard, let me not say anything. The one that is in my mind.
Better not say.
Let me find the story. If not take it. Discordant tunes trail APC's World Congress in Rivers. We are relevant. Konoa replies ASU. Inflation trend overruns federal government's target to cross 35% by year end. Nasima petitions FG, alleges illegal operations of NIBC India in Nigeria. Tinubu departs for G20 Leaders Summit in Brazil. Court stops NBC from imposing fine sanctions on broadcast stations. And Sokoto farmers to FG intensify efforts to flush out local terrorists. Yes.
Consign us. So the Federal High Court in Lagos has prohibited the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, from imposing fines, sanctions, or any form of harassment on independent media houses. A press statement issued yesterday by the Deputy Director of the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, that's SERAP, Kolawole Oluwadara, revealed that Justice Nicholas Oweibo declared the NBC has no legal authority to unilaterally impose penalties, including fines, suspension, or license withdrawal under the NBC Act of the Nigerian Broadcasting Code. So according to Oluwadare, Justice Oweibo further ruled that such actions violated constitutional protections for freedom of expression, access to information, and media independence. So the judgment followed the lawsuit filed by SERAP and the Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, that's the CJID, and they had challenged the NBC's decision in 2022 to impose a $5 million fine on Trust TV, that's MultiChoice Nigeria Limited, NTA StarTimes, and Telkom Satellite Limited. So the fines were issued after the BBC stations had aired a BBC documentary if we remember at the time, titled Bandits, Warlords of Zamfara, which the NBC alleged glorified terrorism and violation of national security. So they went ahead and the act of the defendants imposing a fine of 5 million each on the independent media house is unlawful, inconsistent, that's according to the judge now, with an amount to a breach of the principles of legality and necessity. So he went ahead to also explain that these independent media houses have a right to showcase what is happening, that it's for creating awareness, because they had accused the MDC of trying to foster more terrorism with that particular report. Said no, they are supposed to make people aware of what is happening, so that NBC does not have a right to fine any independent station. That is not in the constitution of the country, among other things.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials. I want to start the gym, but do you know one thing that...
The story discos worsening our plight. Small business owners cry out. 3,767 killed. Over 22,000 others injured in auto crashes, says FRC. Importation of food items won't solve Nigeria's economic problem, says Muswen. And Nigeria's corruption level at fatal stage, says Obasanjo. Okay.
So I have the human story. The Federal Road Safety Corps says more than 3,767 people lost their lives in over 7,000 road traffic crashes in the country between January and September this year. Yes, he also stated that the day is to acknowledge the crucial work of the emergency services, draw attention to the trivial legal responses to culpable road deaths and injuries, and advocate for appropriate response. He also said that this year's theme, which is called That Day, was mainly focused on the victims of people, the crash victims, to remember the day, to tell their story and how that particular day or traffic collision, changed their lives forever. He also advocated that more training should be done for people to take care on the road, for road users to take care and be more, careful while driving. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to our hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars,
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take.
I choose to
Ejeki, close the show, you father.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah, but do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym though, you're getting fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No,
Sex can never be overrated.
it is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some sports.
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good.
Thanks for staying with us. So there's a story online that caught our attention. It's about a police officer who allegedly forcefully had carnal knowledge of a 17-year-old girl who was detained in their police division. He was apparently, according to the reports, recorded by his female colleague. He was said to have unlocked the cell, taken the teenager to the admin department where he reportedly took advantage of her. Now, the story is that the lady police officer who also recorded the incident has been unlawfully dismissed and her husband demoted. Now, we tried to reach out to the PPRO of the state who said he would get back to us, although we know that there's a press release from the PPRO also stating to us exactly their own perspective of after investigation. So according to the press release from the police, says the police officer, instead of reporting the incident to the DPO or the incident duty officer, as the case may be, for disciplinary actions to be initiated against the hearing officer, took advantage of the situation to enrich herself by calling her husband, AP Inspector Abraham Mohammed, and Yibla, who conspired with her to unlawfully demand the sum of 1 million naira from the sergeant to assist to conceal the matter. Now, there was a video which came out where she was denying that she had never tried to blackmail him with that video. Said that the sergeant afforded to offer only 45,000 naira. Satisfied by his offer, they decided to report the hearing officer to the DPO and also share the video on social media. So that is the perspective of the police. So it's either somebody is lying, and then there's the case of the rape. That so for whatever reason has not been mentioned, or the alleged rape.
This whole thing.
Alleged rape. That's for whatever reason have not been mentioned this whole thing. So
now there was video.
yeah, well, I'm just saying that it's still an allegation because we didn't see the action. We only saw some bits of the. What I mean, I didn't see the. I only saw the nakedness. We saw it, but we didn't see the act. I didn't see the act. We just saw the nakedness. However, it's an important conversation because recently I completed my course with the police. It was one of the reasons why I took that course, because I needed to understand why police is one of the most hated, misunderstood, disliked units in our Nigerian, in our law enforcement democracy. And I'm thinking, what exactly is this? Are they supposed to be doing? How do they? What's the law that sets them up? What are the ethics of their profession? What are the guidelines they use to carry out their duties? So I wanted to have that information. That's why I went to take that course, because I need to understand. But when we see things like this, it's quite disturbing, because you feel that the police are trying to clear the system, but there are still those people who are still doing things like old.
Their name.
But what are your thoughts on this? Let me come to you, because we're all mothers, and even the woman was saying in the video that she also has a daughter. The reason why she couldn't hide it was because she has a child too, and there was no way she was going to sweep it under the carpet. Let me hear your thoughts. For those of you watching us, you can call us on 081 674 1679 090 241 63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your messages.
It was heartbreaking. This happened in my hometown, in South Ibi in Edo State. That's where I'm from. And so when I saw the news trending, I took interest. I followed it till only for me to hear. I was waiting to hear where the officer in question has been sacked and is made to face prosecution for rape of an underage, which is a strict offense, a life sentence. You know, I was waiting for that, so because it will deter. We sit as lawyers, I'm sure Amaka would have heard a lot of times how people will claim to have been molested. If you're picked at a red light district, whether you the red light performer or you were just passing through, for wondering, you're most likely to have been molested before daybreak. So you see people begging, they don't want to be arrested. Whereas this is a normal civil thing. If you're picked up and you have not been charged to court, you should be safe in the police station. Sure. Yeah. But you're likely...
Underage?
Yes.
I was shocked.
Thank you. You're likely to have been molested before daybreak. Somebody shared an account of her being told to clean up the police station, sweep it, clean it. You're a suspect, not an accused, not a convict. So you are just being accused. You're going to have your day in court. It's only the court that can rule on a hardship for you, a punishment for you. And we see these anomalies within our police station being reported and untreated.
Yeah.
Now, the worst case scenario is this one, where a police officer can pick a young girl from the cell who, of course, doesn't have a say, rape her, and then release her. In this case, she was not only picked, raped. When the matter was being, because the woman has a video, you can see the officer in the initial video slapping the woman, trying to get the phone off her. She was like, you want to get me in trouble? You pick this girl, you want to put me, it's you that want to put me in trouble. That was the altercation they had. And she, according to her account, had sent it out, which is good, thank God, because I would have hated that they deleted it before he sent it out. Sent it out, sent it everywhere, publish it. You know, so that there's no, they were made to face the crime itself. Right. And that crime is now being downplayed for other things like, you know, she was blackmailing him. That is a separate crime.
Yeah, it's a different one.
I would like to put interest in that one later. I'm not saying it's small, it's huge. That means, you know, she in some way has collaborated. Of
defilement here.
Yes, that's a serious case of defilement. Yes, she might have. Or other people she gave it to might, okay, don't worry, we'll talk to her, we know her. That can be further investigated. But the huge crime of abusing a child who should be safe. Imagine you're running from a riot or anything at night and decided to stay in a police station.
Imagine your fate.
Hey! I'm telling you, the other day, you know, a police officer in Bagada area here was, you know, investigated. He was even caught. The girl who had lost her phone was raped in daytime, not nighttime, not during the night and morning. Called in, she wasn't a suspect, forcefully raped, and the officer wanted to get away with it. Okay, so this is this serious crime itself, and I would like that beyond this PR we are reading from Edo State Police Command, something more serious. Under the watch of the commissioner in Lagos, we had police officers who stood their criminal trials in court for crimes they committed in the line of duty. So you cannot wear your uniform. Was wearing his uniform halfway in the video. Yes, that should bother the PRO of
we were the job of let's go. We'll come to her in a second. Let me come to you, Amaka. What are your thoughts on this?
So, like she has said, that part of the fact that what was done was wrong, you're not saving the police station and everything, right? But there's also talk about the fact that this the female police officer stayed there throughout the time of this thing was happening and recorded it? What stops her from raising an alarm? Because I want to believe that they were just not the two people in that police station, right? So the time that she took to record this whole video, where they were molesting this girl, what stops her from raising an alarm, jumping in and taking charge?
How?
How was she proven herself?
Let me help you. Let me help you. She didn't see the video. So she comes in with her phone camera on. The little girl was already covered up, but she couldn't get up.
Floor,
Her face was down on the seat, facing on the couch. Her face was facing the back of the couch. This officer was trying to get dressed. So she did not catch them in the
doing
act.
it. They were done.
The officer was trying to get dressed, and she went to the young girl. Hope you never do him. He say he don't. He do small. He say he enter. He say yes.
Yes, we saw
he enter finish. He say yes. So she did not witness the act, but she came in concerned, and it shows in that video, the original one I watched, because she went to the girl. When the officer was beating the camera off her face, she went to the girl. She said, he enter. He enter finish. He said yes. That thing broke me to pieces.
So wait. So
and so it's good that she caught that on camera, because if she didn't have a camera view, that man will say a word against it, and he will insist she's trying to victimize him. Unfortunately, they released the girl before the DPO resumed. So there was a cover-up after.
Let me come to BC. Your thoughts on this? We're going to
what was most heartbreaking for me is the diversion of this case. It's been diverted from the issue that we should be handling. The issue, which is a girl was defiled, allegedly, but from that video, it happened. And no consequences, like Nima has rightly said. We are not hearing that this police officer who did this has been either suspended, has been punished, has been sent to prison. We're not hearing any of that. We are now hearing that somebody is trying to extort you. That is a totally different case, and that should be handled later. What of the policeman? What of the girl? What's the situation of the girl right now? Where is the girl? What has the police done to compensate the girl and the family? Have they taken her for therapy? Have they done tests for her? Have they tried to preserve her sanctity in some way? Nobody's saying anything. We're saying somebody sat down and blackmailed and wanted to collect 1 million. Does she, the man she wants to collect 1 million for, does the man have the 1 million naira? So those are not issues we should be facing at the moment. A crime has been committed, and we've had over the years many people who have altercations or interactions with the police will always tell you these things happen. It happens is either you are being brutally abused, you are being raped, the police is not seen as a safe space where people can come in and get their issues resolved. If anything happens and night catches you and you're looking for a police station to stay, people will tell you you are on your own, especially if you are a woman. We've seen where people have been raided for different crimes and batched into the police, and then they come out and all the women have been touched overnight. You know, those are issues that we need the police to look into. And the way they are doing this case and cover, it seems like there's planning to be a cover-up on this issue. And if that cover-up actually happens, you are still degrading the name of the police. A typical Nigerian will not, have faith in the police because these things are still happening in 2024. We're still having issues like this where you cannot trust the police. Please, they need to do something. That particular man, we need to see him. We need to see the sort of punishment.
Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we're going to take this a bit further. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and for my jam results. So
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take. I choose to close the show. Give for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musakis.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert, and a bit of nightcap.
Thanks for staying with us. So, it's not our first time we're discussing stuff like this. And I think one of the reasons why we love to have conversations like this is for us to see how we can do it better. Because for a progressive nation, we have to teach each other how to do it better. So, maybe some police officers are not aware that things are supposed to be different. Maybe Muyiwa Adejobi in First PRO Abuja has not been able to get around to everybody to begin to sensitize them. Or even the Inspector General has not been able to reach every nook and cranny of Nigeria, saying that we are changing the attitude of the Nigerian police to the citizens. So how would we have preferred this police station to handle this case, in your own view? Amaka?
So I believe that, first of all, with what's going on with this lady, it's going to deter other police officers within the to speak to the truth or to speak up when something happens. Because if they're saying the way this woman is being treated now, when something is going on, nobody wants to speak. Everybody just say, I beg, go make I mind my business, make I mind my business, make I do my work, which is not supposed to be the case. This woman, first of all, should be applauded for even stepping up, to protect the girl, to challenge the police officer that did this thing. Like BC and Nima rightly said, this is a secondary issue. The main issue, nobody is talking about that issue, which is what is justice for the girl, what's going on within the police system. It's a police station. A police station is not supposed to have CCTV cameras everywhere. No, the police station is they're supposed to. Police station is supposed to.
Let's be realistic. Let's talk on reality. What we have on ground.
No, but these are the things. These are the reforms that now need to happen. Yeah. Police stations should have
CCTV.
With everything that they've been accusing police over the years. In 2024, police stations should have CCTV cameras that even in the cell, so that you as a police officer, if you're at the back end and someone is trying to kill someone inside the cell, how do you know?
Exactly.
They're supposed to. Yes, they're supposed to have cameras.
Let me take this call. Yes. Good morning, Uche from Fellow Doom. Uche, you're live.
You're beautiful, yeah.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, I want to say good morning to the ladies there.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, please. What they are saying is truth. I believe Nigeria has gone beyond this level of policing problem. Like the last person I just said, there should be CCTV everywhere, every look and cranny of police station. If we have CCTV there, DPO can always come in. Let me check what that will be at the end of the day. He will see everything that is happening. I want to tell you that, you see, we know our problem. You understand? Because all these police people, to check them is a little thing. But just that we don't want to do the needful. There is something that happened. Somebody reported to a police post that there are some group of boys. They'll go and steal phones and people's wristwatch. They'll come to.
Hello? Oh, we lost that. Okay, let me come to you, Nima, because... okay, go ahead.
Just as Amaka said, where is the girl? You know, BC also mentioned what care was given to the girl when this was reported. Personally, the entire team in that South TBA police command or police stand, the DPO, all the officers under him should presently be on trial.
Yes.
Investigated.
So one person committed a crime. One person used camera and cover it. It was shared to other people. Somebody attempted to collect money, and the girl was released. Nobody, they don't have a family dex unit. They don't have a sexual gender dex unit. Nobody took the girl to hospital. Nobody asked what, you know, she was going through.
Happened.
They have condemned the girl because she was brought in for stealing a phone, so she can never better for her. That's the meaning. They have condemned her. She's been used, abused, and discarded. Under their watch, that girl was released. Nobody followed up. And the PRO did a statement. That's the woman, nothing she said. In fact, the fact that there's a claim for money, they say they asked demand for 1 million. I want to see the charts.
Yes.
Even if it's an oral evidence. If 1 million was demanded, the fact that you sent 45 million is an admittance of your guilt.
Yes, 45,000.
What did you say? 45,000 of what were you sending?
Exactly. Of cover-up.
Of cover-up? A girl's life is still the problem here, and we are all shouting, clouting, or making noise on other issues. The entire police command, if I am the IG, the entire police command, over all them, everybody go out and not get what. And the people that are guilty will be presently facing trial for one form of collaboration or the other.
There's something that is like one of the cardinal principles of a policeman is discipline, loyalty, respect.
To
seniority is extremely essential. So when you have a situation where it seems somebody is defying what the procedure is or defying the steps to take, it seems they try to protect each other. Because what we are seeing here is police being police, where, okay, this thing has happened, how can we ensure that we protect our own? But in that protection, we must ensure it's not at the expense of an innocent person. And that's very important. Yes. I'll come to you, but I want us also have that premise in mind that this police, they have that.
Also an allegation that truly there was an allegation that she stole a phone, the girl, the victim, and that this officer also paid the owner of the phone off
80,000 naira.
Yes.
So why you paying?
What's your interest?
Why you they pay? You don't pay so far. Stand in trial for the abuse of an underage, which is a strict offense. He should go to life sentence.
Let me take this call from Prophet Kehinde. I'll come to you, BC. Well, thanks for calling, sir. You're live.
Morayo.
Yes, sir.
You people are doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
God to bless you.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
It's always difficult for me to get you.
No verse.
I've contributed towards this matter sometimes ago. It happened in my area, in my division, Lion division in Ajegula in Ojo Road, where a policeman, Inspector Blues, defined the girl. The DPO there happened to be a woman. She covered that story. She covered it. We tried to expose that story. They covered the story until they sweep that case under the carpet. They sweep that case under the carpet. Secondly, there is no respect in police force. They don't have respect for their other authority. And whereby you cannot take phone inside the police station, you know that is what they are trying to. They will cover everything they want to cover. Before you go to the division, the police station, they will tell you to drop your phone. Why? If you know you are doing a legit job, you are doing well, why will you tell somebody that comes in the station to come and report the case, or who have a problem with his family, has a problem in the division, and you collect his phone, he or she, you collect the phone so that they will not do anything, they will not record anything. So they have CCTV camera in every division, but they cover it.
Okay.
A lot is happening in Tolu division. The DPO will arrest teenager. They will detain him and collect money.
All right.
50,000, 100,000.
Thank you very much, sir.
I
have to go off because I'm told that we have a press briefing that has to be, we have to go off on TVC News, on DSTV's Adamawa State Government. They're having their quarterly ministerial press briefing. Government's House Yola in Adamawa State, the Ministry of Information and Strategy. So we'll have to go off on TVC News. For those of you watching us online can continue to watch us. And those of you who want to watch us on TV can watch us on GOTV and StarTimes. Julie, you're saying?
Yes. So the first responsibility of the police force is to protect the lives and properties of their people. That's their first responsibility. So if you're a police officer, whether you have gotten to the level of DPO, IG, whatever, and your first line of action is not in the interest of Nigerians, then you have failed. It's not about covering up ourselves so that we don't they don't insult us, so that they don't say the police is bad again. That's not what you're there to do. You have failed. The first thing is, what happened? Madam, can I have that phone? This is what happened. This is what happened. Okay, you are going to answer for this. Which desk is in charge of taking care of this girl? Which desk is in charge of taking her to the hospital? Let's run some tests. Investigations immediately. That's what you should be thinking of. Not, why, madam, why did you record it in the crime book? Why did you share the video? Why did you, let's have a conversation. Let's have meeting upon meeting upon meeting to cover yourselves. You have failed. That's one. Secondly, we need to revisit the roots of the police, the idea and ideology of the police force. When the police was brought to us by the colonial masters, it was for them to be preserved and protected. And that is what we are still running with. So the police sees every other person as it's you against me, it's me against you. And they fight to protect the VIPs, the politicians, and themselves, which they are failing. Because that's not the job of the police. So we need to go back to the history of the police. We need to
rewrite
the history of the police. For the policeman to understand that my job is to protect you, young lady. You are a civilian. I am paid to protect you. Simple. I am paid to make sure that everything is working well for you. If you commit a crime, I am not the one to torture you. I can take you and hand you over to the courts till the courts say that we can go ahead and put you in prison or not. I've done my job. We need to go back to that. And for those elderlies or the high-ranking police officers who understand this but are enabling the younger ones because you want to preserve a name, shame on you. It is unfair. A 17-year-old girl, we always think that we can do things and get away with it. There's karma, there are consequences, so you don't know where your grandchild will be tomorrow. You have no idea. Shame on you. It's not fair.
You know, this is quite painful because, I think you really hit the nail on the head. I've been racking my brain on how best to say a few things in my head because I have taken the police course, and I know that one of the fundamentals is that the people are not the first. You know, it's about the force, about us. And it's so important that we see the people first because that's why we are here, and that's what our job is. Because if it's all about the force, the protection of the force, how to ensure that we're following protocol, how to ensure that this is person that does this or does that, we now put the who's supposed to be the actual important subject in this matter is put at the back. So I think that one of the crucial things I'd like all the police stations to see is how they can begin to put people first. I asked the question earlier, what would we have preferred? Yes, we know what the law says, right? How to protect the girl child. But how would Nigerians prefer for a police station in this kind of situation handles this matter?
Okay, good. So once this woman brought the evil out, because now she allowed them, once she brought it out, if she talks to the next police officer, his first concern is, where is the girl? How is the girl? Under the military, I wish they would copy it. That man immediately will be replaced in cell. Yes. That police officer, his colleagues can arrest him. Every of them is enabled to arrest in a crime that happens in their side. They should have arrested him immediately, lock him up. Don't allow an exchange between him and any other officer when that woman has alleged that and she's showing that video of him half naked and the girl in a room. First step. I'm not saying the woman could not possibly blackmail him. She has a video. Even if she doesn't do it directly, somebody will say, don't worry, I know her. I will go and beg her in the house at night. We see this happen. Nigerians, because Sheikh Yasser on Saturday was talking about how bad governance works. your government is as bad as the people.
True. Yeah. It's the people.
If you see a bad governance, look at the people. And how do Nigerians think? If that young girl was raped in her neighborhood by the landlord, they will come and beg her parents. Yes. Yeah. So usually somebody will go and beg the woman. Now the girl has not said anything. Now you will go beg. Now you know say we be we. Now we. You know. So they would have gone to her. That's most likely to happen. But if your mindset is to change something, you won't be. You know already. You can predict all of them. The woman is a lesser evil compared to what has just happened. Yeah. The blackmail is a lesser evil. And you can deal with each. That woman, for me, would remain in service till we are done with this rape case. She would have even forgotten that she blackmailed when we come for her.
She actually did.
When we go on a very short break, we'll come back, we'll take a few calls. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
By 20 or 320. I suppose don't be one
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take. I choose to close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Check it out.
Another.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter, and it's quite related to our Let's Talk, which is the next segment. I think one of the messages that is important, I think, that for the Inspector General of Police to understand, because we know these these things happen. But you see, times are changing. People have cell phones. People are using this as ways of securing evidences. Because for a woman to intentionally carry her phone when she was looking for Inspector, what's his name? Is it Andrew? Abraham. She carried her phone, suspecting there's a possibility this thing could have happened. So she took her. For that suggests to me that that this has happened several times before, and they've gotten away with it. But she felt that this time around, I'm going to get my evidence just to have it. So if we know these things happen, how can the Inspector General of Police himself begin to flush out these bad eggs? How can he remind or find a way to communicate to Nigerians that indeed police is there to protect them? Because right now, the average Nigerian doesn't believe that the Nigerian police is there to protect them.
Okay, yeah. Because there's one person, there's a crucial person nobody has mentioned in this matter. The person that is in charge of the keys to the cell where the women are. Because the cell door is not open now. I want to believe that there's a protocol and structure which, like in the military, in the police force, there's how things are done. So for female cells, as a lawyer, we know, there's somebody that is in charge.
So according to the story, she actually went there. Yeah. She gave the key. Yes, she's the one in charge of the key.
Yes, no. I know. I'm coming. What I'm trying to say is that so she, right? Yeah. As in, you cannot just hand the key over to a man.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Why didn't she escort?
Because nobody is talking about.
So yes, she's at fault.
She
also.
Yes. Because you cannot carry a key and give a man.
God bless you.
Then the man now goes there from the story, collects the girl. And then you're supposed to escort, even for interrogation.
God bless you.
There should be
now we're getting.
So that's what I said. So apart from them talking about that the lady did recording, she's also an accessory. Because what was the guy coming to take a woman at that time of that time to go alone without you escorting the person?
It was also reported in the story that the girl was drugged.
Drugged.
She was not.
The way she was lying down.
The way she was lying down. She couldn't get up.
The way I didn't see that in the report. Was that
in our allegation in that video? Listen to her. The girl was not as conscious as she should be. She was a bit drowsy. That's number one. Number two, each police officer who is IPO in a case can get their suspect out of cell for interrogation at any time and put them back. My problem with her, well, I cannot. I would have said she should have escorted.
Exactly.
Okay, but wait,
for a man picking up,
transferred according to her to that division 3 weeks ago.
Right.
That's just there's a problem with
so what Amaka is saying is that the female cell is a female cell. So for you to come and collect the keys to a female cell, somebody should have escorted you protocol-wise. There should have been.
Maybe they don't do
what I see is that when you're for police for female detainees, a female usually is in charge.
Okay, let me take Fina. She's holding for a while. Good morning, Fina. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my own view on this is this. You see, until we start speaking it out like this, until we start speaking when we see something going wrong, things will not be fine. Like you now, you guys are there. You people have the privilege of saying it the way it is for those people in authority to hear.
Okay.
Looking at this type of thing, you see video. We saw video where things like this happened. You can see when the woman was coming to that direction. We can see when she was interviewing that girl. We can see that this is where it is. This is not something like we say, it was like this, so we did not see it or we saw it. Everybody can see it. From that, you know that something like this really happened. So I'm going to say that you that is there, Morayo, because last week I listened to your show. There was a topic like that was on Wednesday or Thursday. You were trying to get the real view. I don't understand. Like what you said now, is it what happened or is it not what happened? Morayo, see, you are there for millions of Nigerians who does not have the privilege to stand in that position to speak. So I would like when things like this come up, please speak out for us, not considering it. You can see it. It is it. It's not whether it's alleged or it's not alleged. All those alleged something. That is why Nigeria is the state we are today. God bless you people. You are
Thank
there.
you very much.
God bless Obia Julia.
Thank you very much. Just a reminder for our viewers, my job as the moderator is to try to see things from 360 views. So the popular view might exist, which is fine, but we must not in any way shy away from the unpopular views. So my job is to try to find different perspectives. Doesn't mean that I don't agree with the populist views, but my job actually also entails me bringing out other perspectives so we can see things the 360 the best I can. I think
also to find the balance, because nothing is usually as it seems.
Yeah, exactly.
Tomorrow another angle
will come out.
And then you're looking very foolish.
Yeah.
So I've not heard good reports of the Edo Police Command. Some time back, a friend of mine was defrauded, and the money was traced to Edo State. The boys were picked. Before him from Lagos reached Benin, you don't see the boy again. And everybody just swept it under the carpet. If you know the amount of money we're talking about, it will break your heart.
I have to go on a break.
They must solve crimes in that place.
I have to go on a break because we're still talking about the protection of the woman.
Yeah.
Protection of the child.
Yes.
This is 17-year-old.
Any other human.
And there's also a situation that happened in Sokoto, and we're bringing our guest right now to talk about because it's somewhat related.
Yeah.
It's feeling like your government, your law enforcement does not protect you. That in itself is a fundamental flaw of any government. Let's go to the shop. We're going to come back and bring in our guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No. Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I will not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some spoils.
That woman. Bam!
Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's get talk now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay tuned. Entertainment with pure entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Oh, wow. My typical day is filled with meetings, consultations, and of course, traffic. And that's all part of the hustle and bustle of city life. But the real fun starts when I can just settle down and catch up with all my favorite programs on TVC. Believe me, it's pure entertainment.
Oh, hello guys. Come closer. Now this is not a magic trick, but I'm about to show you the best breakfast show on television. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
This is Wake Up Nigeria.
On Wake Up Nigeria, we take your mornings from drab to fab. A quick look at the newspaper headlines to keep you updated on news and current affairs. There's sports, great features and places to go, and things to do.
47, 48, 49, 50. It's okay.
It's lights, cameras, and movie madness because we squeeze the best blockbusters into bite-sized reviews. Our award-winning and sometimes Guinness World-breaking chefs perform a culinary masterpiece every single morning inside of the kitchen that leaves us salivating and asking for more. Our book reviews is always a page-turner, with thrilling stories, gripping memoirs, and fascinating tales. We keep you entertained with music performances, trending topics, and fun Friday games.
And on traffic today from Shasha bus stop. So you guys plan to set me up?
Nah. 60 seconds is not enough to tell you all about Wake Up Nigeria. It's like trying to fit a T-Rex inside of a teacup. You'd have to tune in every morning at 7 a.m. to enjoy a whirlwind of excitement, laughter, and unforgettable moments. Wake Up Nigeria, your ticket to a fabulous start every weekday morning.
show starts in 3, 2, and...
We're here again on your screens this beautiful morning doing what we do best.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Oh, wow. My typical day is filled with meetings, consultations, and of course traffic. And that's all part of the hustle and bustle of city life. But the real fun starts when I can just settle down and catch up with all my favorite programs on TVC. Believe me, it's pure entertainment.
Oh, hello guys. Come closer. Now this is not a magic trick, but I'm about to show you the best breakfast show on television. Ready? 3, 2...
Thanks for staying with us. Joining us on the show now is a respected and highly influential Nigerian-British journalist and media entrepreneur, trainer, and formerly strategic communications advisor. She's recognized as one of the top 5 most influential people in the Nigerian media landscape. She will be speaking about so many things, especially why leadership is not about the position one holds, but about the responsibility one bears to serve and uplift others. Welcome with us, Kadara Hamed in the building.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
My sisters. Thank you so much for having me.
So, I mean, well done with all the work you've been doing so far. I mean, I've read quite a few of your articles in recent times. And before you came in, we're talking about the situation of a young woman who was allegedly raped in the police station. And the fact that it seemed to be covered up. In fact, the press release by the Edo State Police Command was about the fact that the officer, the female officer who released the video, is trying to blackmail the accused officer. They didn't mention anything about the rape, what's been done to the girl, what happened, you know, if an investigation concerning the rape was done. So we're a bit taken aback that this is how Nigerian police protects the Nigerian girl. So I'll bring that to the other story we're going to come with. But what are your thoughts on this matter? Let me hear your thoughts before we move on to the other matter.
Think about the aberration contained in that sentence, raped in a police station. It's an aberration.
Yes.
There's something abnormal about a community, a society, a country in which the places that are supposed to be safe, that are supposed to enforce law, now become crime scenes. And to make matters worse, instead of those crime scenes to be the place where you then get justice, you would have thought anybody who had the guts to actually rape somebody in a police station would be scared that once it was found out, something will happen to him. The fact that that is not the case suggests that this is not a one-off. That scares me. That actually there's nothing unusual about what has happened. Otherwise, you would have expected the police themselves to be so outraged by what has happened that they will throw the rules book at this particular guy. So it's very disturbing. Yeah. It's disturbing and speaks to the wider issue why women like myself came together and set a view, which is, voices for inclusion and equity for women. It is a loose coalition of North Central, Northeast, and Northwestern women who've come together to say, look, it is time we start fostering inclusion, equity, and social justice for women. In the North in particular, we're going through serious conflicts. And while everybody else suffers from these conflicts, the women face a double whammy. Being women means that they are also vulnerable to certain things that maybe others are not vulnerable to. So they are abused, things like sexual assault, physical violence. Misogyny is on steroids because obviously when things are going wrong and men are disturbed, those of them that are not well take out all their frustrations on women, etc., etc. And we're seeing an increase. Just this morning I was reading about a young girl that was murdered in Bama in Maiduguri by her uncle, who was kept in detention for just 2 months. Now he's been released back into the community and her mother is having to watch him. And it's not like, this particular case, there was no issue around, oh, we didn't know. He came into her mother's room with some sort of machete. He had spent the week before saying he's going to kill her because she was disrespectful. She doesn't know how to talk to men. And he chopped her down.
Oh my goodness.
So at some point, people in authority have got to start respecting Section 2 of the Nigerian Constitution, which lays out very clearly what their responsibility is. And I don't want to be misquoted, so please give me a second to quote it directly, right? The section of our Constitution says that the Federal Republic of Nigeria shall be a state based on the principles of democracy and social justice. It is hereby accordingly declared that sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from which a government will derive its powers and authority. But more importantly, the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government.
Okay, now.
I mean, that's very, very obvious. But you see, there's a part of this I'd like us to harp on, which is related to what happened to Hamadia Sidi in Sokoto, because it's about the voice of women. Yes. You see, there's one thing of raping women, murdering women. Those are heinous crimes. When a woman speaks up and she's still being harassed or still being discriminated against because of her voice, and that's what happened to Sidi. Give us a bit about that, because she allegedly said that she dared to ask the governor in her state, that's Aliyu Ahmad Sokoto, a simple question. He said if he and his family faced the horrific violence in unspeakable ways, something in front of their families, would he be so indifferent? And that's what got her into trouble. There was a video where I think Hamadia was saying, and I'd like to play this very quickly. It's in Hausa, but I'm sure that Kadira will help us to interpret. Let's show the video in a second.
Dan Allah ku yi haƙuri. Duk wanda yake ganin na faɗi maganar da bata daidai da ra'ayinsa ba, ko kuma bata daidai da ra'ayinsa ba, ko kuma ka ga na yi rashin kunya ko kuma wani abu, to ku yi haƙuri. Ku yi haƙuri. Kafin na zurfa a cikin bayani na, ina so ku sani wallahi tallahi billahi la ilaha illa huwa, babu wanda ya aiko ni, babu wanda ya sa ni, babu wanda nake wa kamfe, ba kamfe nake yi ba, kuma ni ba jam'iyyar wasu nake kushewa ba.
Okay, so could you tell us exactly what she was?
I mean, the modesty of this girl. So this is the video that got her into trouble. Right. Okay. But she actually started it by first apologizing to anybody who might think she's out to offend. You know, that was sort of her first thing. And then making sure that people understand that she does not belong to any political party. She does not have any political grounds. And then she went on to talk about the condition her immediate family is in and relatives, where basically they are being terrorized, women being raped in front of their fathers, in front of their husbands, and asking the governor that, look, is it that you don't know what is going on? Because if you don't know what is going on, I am here to tell you so that you can do something about it. But if you do know what is going on, what are you doing in order to solve this problem? And she basically wanted to bring it home because it's a very important emotive issue. And she said, if this is your daughter or your wife that is constantly, being harassed the way our families are, would you be sitting back in the way that you seem to be doing? It was a call for accountability, which every citizen has a right to do. And yet, it has been turned into a call for incitement. As we speak now, she's in court today. She's been charged by the police with incitement. We are hoping that that case will be thrown out because it has no merit as far as we are concerned. I must confess and be honest to let you know that someone close to the governor of Sokoto State reached out to me a few days ago after we released our statement, saying that the governor is not like that. In fact, he believes in rights and da-da-da-da. He wasn't even in the country when this was done, and he was not the one who authorized it. And I told that person what I'm going to say again today, that he then needs to therefore distance himself, first and foremost, from that arrest. Okay, let the public know that he had no hand in it, and then become her champion, indeed, and do what he should have done when she raised this issue, which is to engage on the material things that she raised. But this is not acceptable. The use of the state apparatus to muzzle down on people who have voices, who have ideas. It's crazy.
Let me come to the ladies on this, because I've always said this. There's one area where the leader has a vision. So somebody called you, said, the governor is not like that. So maybe the governor or the leader or the IG or the president, they might have a certain intention, maybe positive intention. But what are they doing? Because somehow it's not being cascaded. Somehow the people working for them are still doing things business as usual. Somehow people don't know that we are trying to change and give women the rights they already have constitutionally. Because for whatever reason, some of these guys in the middle, either the police, either the workers, still feel it's okay to suppress a young girl who is trying to express herself. They feel, and unfortunately when they do that, nothing happens. Nobody gets arrested. So how do we therefore...
So first of all, I will not agree that the governor is not aware. That's my personal opinion.
Okay.
If I am a leader somewhere and my people are going around harassing people for speaking up and all of that, and I see it and I don't do anything, that means I'm in alignment with them. So I think...
But it's more than harassment. She was beaten up as well.
I know. I'm just saying, giving an example of, how this leadership thing works. Most of the things that happen that your people do, and they come back to tell you that they are doing it to protect you and to protect your office. And you are in alignment. You agree because you see it from their own perspective, which... when it now blows out and everybody's complaining, you say that you are not aware. If you are not aware, there are certain steps that you will take. First is to remove... Why is that girl? Why did they arrest that girl? Please, what did she say now? Why are you people getting upset? Did she lie? Where is the lie in what she has spoken? So you will stand up, like you said, be her champion now and say that everything this girl has said is for us to be accountable to the people that we are working for, the people that we are serving. And you will ensure that even in the courts, they see that this case has no merit and they throw it out. You now have to work twice as hard because your people are already messed up by harassing somebody who decided to speak up for a lot of women. But I have a question for you. I used to feel that probably because of upbringing, culture, religion in the North, the women are mostly suppressed and they're not able to speak out. And I'm happy with this organization that you formed where women can stand up and speak for themselves. But what protects them when they eventually speak? How many men are in support of what you're doing to also give a form of protection to the women who decide to speak up?
Okay, so two things here. I think culturally, Northern women, it's not that they don't so much speak out, but we have different ways. We're raised to sort of sort out conflict slightly differently. Okay. Now, the North that we all grew up in is no longer the North that exists as we speak, because it has now been ravaged by conflict. So in the past, some of these issues might come up, and you will have sort of structures within either the community or the family to help a girl, you know, fight for her rights. Plus, Islam is very clear about female rights, and the North is predominantly Muslim. But you see, when you have conflict, what has happened is even the religious freedoms that have been given to women, people don't respect them anymore. So we have people who are Muslim in name, but they're not actually practicing it. In terms of the alliance we are forming around VIEW, yes, we have male champions. We are speaking to people across a broad, you know, group of people that we're advocating, and we're telling them that, look, it is in your interest, in the interest of your communities, that women are safe. Because the problem with president, I keep telling people is, so today you're the IG, and you're busy happily prosecuting people who you feel, you know, are being, have dissent in their voices or are not saying the right things. The day you're not an IG, what happens? You set a president that, you know, allows you to also become a victim. This is the same IG that a few weeks ago was forced to release minors, right? Who basically took to the streets to protest against what they consider hardship. Again, the freedom of speech is right there within our constitution. This man was now forced to sort of, if you like, backtrack. It's the same police force that has now gone and picked up Hamdia Sidi and is saying that she is inciting. At what point does the police become a tool for those in office? At what point is the police supposed to serve regular citizens? So he has to ask himself some serious questions. If his men are giving him a bad rap all around because of overzealousness, he needs to put a stop to it.
Yeah. Because this is... Let me go on a short break. When I come back, I'll start with you, Nima. Stay with us, right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have our guest with us, Kadara Ahmed. You're going to say something.
Yes, so for me, I'm trying to say like leadership. I don't know why maybe most politicians just feel like that. Maybe when they get there, when the people will vote them in, when they get there, everybody, you forget that you're there to serve. You forget that whatever, as a leader, whatever happens under your constituency or under your watch,
yes,
you must take responsibility. That's why abroad, you see that people will come out, apologize for something they did not even do, even say, okay, want to resign, whatever, because you have to take responsibility of what happens under your watch. So for the governor to be saying that they don't know or he doesn't know what's going on, first of all, that conversation should not even...
The reason why I wanted us to borrow them some grace is because the truth is that we are all leaders. We have good intentions. But sometimes you start a company and this is the focus you want to do. But your people who are used to doing things a certain way will continually do that. So I understand that it's always easy for us to say, oh, it's the government's responsibility. Oh, it's the IGP's responsibility. Yes, it is. However, at the same time, we must also understand that there's a lot of sanitization that needs to be done across the board. But how do we plan going forward? I'm coming back to you, Kadara.
Look, the thing is this. We can sit down and make excuses, but the buck stops with the leadership.
True.
So let's assume and give this governor the benefit of the doubt. He wasn't around, he didn't give instructions, but then he comes back and finds out this has happened. He has to speak up. You cannot not hold your people accountable, especially if they're behaving in a certain way. Because don't forget, after she was arrested, then released on bail, she got back home and then was pounced upon by thugs. We don't know who they are, but we can make a few deductions. And they beat her silly. As a result of which this girl is now in hiding. Scared for herself, scared for her family as well, who might be fingered in this. And what is her big crime? Asking for accountability. And so look, we in view, and these are very accomplished northern women from the north central, northeast and northwest, we are putting leaders on notice. The level of assault and the damage being done to women in areas of the north, where basically they are facing multiple problems. So they face banditry, they face issues, kidnapping, they face sexual assault when they're kidnapped. Some are being forced to marry against their will, etc., etc. Instead of you to solve these problems, you now constitute yourself into another problem. Right? Where basically if they speak up, you want to shut them down. It won't be acceptable. We are advocating, and look, today I'm on TVC. My sister, Dr. Mero Mandara, was on BBC. We're doing Kakaki, we're doing AIT. So from a media point of view, there's going to be a blitz. And we're going to start calling out leaders who are abusing women and who are abusing our constitution and the rule of law, right? But beyond that, we're also asking all women groups who... So we're looking for people to help with her legal support, right? So luckily among us are also very accomplished lawyers, so providing advisory, you know, and we're asking everybody to advocate in any way they can. Women groups that are in Sokoto, we're encouraging them to show out, go to the court, stand in solidarity with this young lady, because it cannot be right that coming out to say, please save us, please help us, this is what we are going through. It is now considered a crime in a democracy.
Okay, so sometime last week, an influencer had called some names on Twitter for roads local government chairman should amend.
Yes.
And said they should start looking at roads. If you walk around Lagos, it's a construction site, but it was called to attend to a local government issue. And nothing happened. So is it a northern thing to react to being asked to be accountable to your people?
No, please, Naima, do not use one person's bad behavior to tar a whole region. Please.
My point is, the governor, even though he saw that this girl had been arrested, had no reaction.
And that is the governor's problem. You understand what I mean? There are other governors in the north that get criticized that do not send people after people.
My point is also that in Islam, we are not allowed to protest. We are supposed to call out our leaders differently. You know, so all of this for me might be what is backing, because some people will sit in influence now and say she deserves what she's getting. She should be tried. Why would this be considered inciting? I'm saying I gave an example of a clearly insightful statement.
Okay, so first of all, I think depending on which interpretation of Islam you answer, somebody could disagree with what you've said. Because before you get to the responsibilities of followers in Islam, you start with the responsibility of leaders. And what happens when leaders don't, do their responsibility according to Islam? Have they not forfeited the right to therefore be treated to be followed? You understand what I mean? So that's one and the first thing. But the second thing I think is that it's important that we understand that there might not be many, but there are leaders who genuinely care and who listen. And I think generalizing doesn't help anybody. I think it's really important that we isolate people who don't do the right thing, and we point to them and we call them out. Because this generalization actually helps them.
Yes.
It does a service for them, because then they can be hiding under that collective, under that idea that, oh, it is because this, or it is because that. No. Also, the northern Nigeria is still governed by the Nigerian constitution. Is a democracy, and I've just quoted that section 2 to you.
State, for instance,
yes,
would have seen this, even if he didn't see it in his official capacity under the Ministry of Justice, he would have seen this in the news and say, who charged this
girl?
Yes.
And discontinue it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that is,
when he advises,
fingers crossed, we're hoping common sense will prevail, and that's the news coming out of the courts today.
Let me move to the objective of view, because there's a bigger picture here.
Yes.
This is one incident, and there are probably going to be lots of other incidences, because we need to understand the total objective of what you want to do. And we are a women's platform, and we try to support women activities across, and we use our own platform to support that. So what exactly would you hope to achieve at the end of the day with VIEW?
So essentially what VIEW is trying to do is to ensure redress for women who are actually facing injustice, and so to promote a culture of ethical behavior in public life.
Okay.
Because I think it's really important that our public office holders, I think they forget how they get there. They forget that they have a responsibility under the Constitution. It's like when they get there, they think they are above the law, or they can do anything they like, and that we are inferior to them.
Yeah.
So they become these people that you can't even criticize or you can't talk to. We saw a member of the National Assembly, slapping an Uber driver for what? And so we at VIEW are of the opinion that a culture of ethical behavior needs to come back into public life, because we think too many of our public officials have convinced themselves that they are above the law, that they are superior to other human beings, that therefore the way they should be treated should be different. And we are here to basically remind them that that is not the case. I mean, obviously we want to advocate for the protection and empowerment of women, particularly those who are subjected to violence and systemic injustice.
But as they're saying that if you know better, you do better, do you really believe, because these are people that they're a product of the society. Society doesn't know better, and the average person will probably do the same thing. So if you advocate, if you talk about it, if you try to push it, you're flogging a dead horse. They don't know what to do. That's a perception.
No, that's what
it
they
could
want.
Be like
No, that's what they want you to believe so that you can stop fighting back. It's really important that people do not feel helpless. It's really important that people understand that they have agency and they should claim their agency. And our voice as women is part of the agency that we have. When it's time to vote, do they tell you because you are a woman you shouldn't vote?
Of course not.
On the contrary, when the ones come out and queue up and all of that. So if they want our votes, then they have to be ready to also
serve us.
And when they don't, they should be prepared to be called out. Because we'll continue to do that level of advocacy.
I think most especially when people vote you into authority, they should also have access to, because I noticed that in Nigeria, you vote people in and nobody has access to them. So who are you governing? Who are you leading? When nobody has access to
22 million people enter your office. What are you saying?
But Morayo, they should at least be a level of access.
Ordinary you're trying to have access to you as Obiajulu on your social media.
In governance, people should have access to you.
To have access. Nigeria. All of us are busy.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. But one attempt, I always say it on this show, one attempt I made to assess the chairman of my local government at the time, and he said, do you have an appointment? I said no, but I saw something that's happening. I'd like to meet with the chairman. He says I should wait. He went in and came back. He says I should go and write a letter. He said I should have access. Because I left my business.
People with your standard access.
So look, the issue though is that the right to access, particularly our representatives at the National Assembly, is also constitutional. So, Motora, you can't compare yourself running The View, a private show on a private TV station, with someone who has been elected to represent people. Part of that, the expectation and what the law says is that they have to give themselves give us access to them. That's why we're supposed to have their telephone numbers. In other countries, they'll be published on their website and everything. So, for example, right now, as I understand it, the Senate and the House of Rep don't have an up-to-date website. So there are a lot of numbers that...
The reason why I say this, because these things really sound nice. Because I remember when our governor of Lagos State did the same thing. I remember when I was working with the Commissioner for Education, and she was telling me how everybody had to publish all their phone numbers. That was the very first thing he asked them, the first meeting they had. And they did it. And all sort of funny focus, people asking for money. It's difficult to sift through 2,000 messages, half of which... Listen, let me get the point. I don't want us to continue with the rhetoric that we hear. It is the normal, they have 10,000 essays. Hear me out. I worked with this person. She didn't have 1,000 essays. She was trying to get her job done.
How many essays did she have?
So she only had one essay.
So part of
having 2,000 messages.
Let me finish.
I'm talking about this as be real as possible.
I'm being realistic. The problem is that you don't see her addressing people's concern as part of her job.
Yes.
So to you, her job is in one place and people's concerns are in another place. No.
It's your job.
So she needs to put a structure that allows her, even if it is once a week, maybe on a Friday, to engage with as many of those calls as possible. It's part of her job. So in structuring her job, she should structure those things in.
I hear you, and I know that I know these things is not as easy as, because even though the current minister for tourism,
I'm half British.
I am telling you the reality. It sounds so good on social media.
I am British.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I also used to vote in the UK, and I have a member of parliament. He has an office that is manned. And if I need to speak to him, I pick up the phone, I call his office. And they will tell you what days he's available to see constituencies. And you pick an appointment based on availability. Why is that rocket science?
I don't even understand.
They make the point you're trying to make.
Anyway, I want to get back, and I want to wrap up with Hamdia.
Yes.
You know, she's a young lady that is facing grave threats. We're very, very concerned about what happens to her in court today, but also after court, and many girls like her, right? And so we're calling on anybody with any sort of influence, on the IG, on the governor of Sokoto State, on Mr. President, to point out to them that this is not how you serve people. You do not serve your constituencies because they call you accountable, to be accountable by locking them up and by trying to throw charges against them. Everybody would be tempted to think this is an attempt to essentially send a message out.
Yes.
That if you criticize us, we're coming after you. You do not want that in a democracy. So please, they should do the right thing.
Thank you very much.
This case.
We have to wrap up. Well, thank you so much. We wish you the best. I know that we're here to support you the best we can. I mean, we'll give you the platform whenever you need it. We'll be happy to have you on. Okay? That's all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.